everyone, my name is Doodles and I'm with the Township of Woolwich Summer Camps, and I'm here to teach you how to make beaver tails today. So we're gonna start by activating our yeast. So to do that, we need to take a teaspoon of sugar and put it in our bowl. And we're going to need to take a half cup of warm milk. Now you wanna make sure it's not too hot because it's gonna kill your yeast. So if you have a thermometer, try to get it between 105 or 115 degrees Fahrenheit, or you can just stick your finger in, and if it burns your finger, then it's way too hot. So we're gonna add that to our bowl, along with a quarter cup of warm water, and the same thing for the temperature. And then we are going to take a packet of traditional active dry yeast, 8 grams, and we're just going to pour that into our bowl as well. And then we're just gonna kind of give it a little swish, and we're just gonna let it sit for 10 minutes until it gets nice and foamy. Okay, so when your yeast has bloomed, it should look like this. So I'm going to use a stand mixer for the next part to start mixing all my ingredients together. However, if you don't have a stand mixer, you can just use a wooden spoon and then knead it all by hand. But in the bowl of our stand mixer, we are going to put in 2 tablespoons of melted butter. We're gonna put in 1 tablespoon and 2 teaspoons of sugar. We're gonna put in a half teaspoon of salt. We're gonna put in 1 egg. We're gonna put in a half teaspoon of vanilla. And then we're going to give this a mix to combine it. So once the egg, butter, sugar, salt, vanilla are all combined in your bowl, you're then gonna add your 2.5 cups of flour. Again, if you're not using a stand mixer, you can just mix it with a wooden spoon, and then once it combines, you can pour it out your dough onto a lightly floured surface and knead until it becomes elastic. But for a stand mixer, you're just gonna put your dough hook attachment on, put the head down, and then you're gonna knead it on a medium speed for about 6 minutes. So once you're done kneading your dough, it should look like this. And we're gonna take it and we're gonna place it into a lightly oiled bowl and cover with a damp towel. So in order to oil your bowl, you'll just take some vegetable oil, canola oil, whatever you have on hand, and you'll just take some onto a paper towel or cloth and just spread it all around the inside of the bowl. Alternatively, you could just pour just a little in the bowl and swish it around, but I find this is easiest for control. So once you're done oiling your bowl, you're gonna take your dough and you're going to put it in the bowl here and cover it with a damp towel, and then you're gonna leave it to sit in a warm place for an hour. So a warm place could be like your oven or your microwave, or if you have like a really warm room in your house, you could leave it there. But it's important to let it sit for an hour or until it's doubled in size. Okay, so while you're waiting for your dough to rise, or just before that hour is up, you can go ahead and make your cinnamon sugar that you're gonna dip the beaver tails in after you're done deep frying. So in order to make the cinnamon sugar, you need a tray, a cup of sugar, and then a tablespoon or so of cinnamon. The cinnamon is more to your liking, so I'm just gonna take the sugar and put it on my tray. And then I'm gonna take a tablespoon of cinnamon, and put it there as well. And then I'm just gonna take it and mix it all together until it's all nice and combined. We're really just trying to create a big surface of cinnamon sugar that we can take our beaver tails in and sprinkle them with after they're done frying. Okay, so now that our dough has doubled in size, we're just gonna punch it down to deflate it a little bit before taking it out of the bowl. When we take it out of the bowl, we're gonna place it onto a lightly floured counter. I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of flour on the counter, and it's good to have a little bit of flour on your hands because the dough might be sticky. And now we're just gonna take the dough and put it on our counter, and we're gonna cut it into 8 pieces. So we'll cut it down the center first, and then we'll take our 2 halves and cut each half into 4 pieces. So now that I have my 8 dough balls, I'm again just gonna take one onto that lightly floured surface and take some flour onto a rolling pin and roll it out to be as thick or as thin as what you would like to create your beaver tail. Personally, I like mine a little bit thinner, just so that you get a nice ratio of dough and sugar at the end. So now that my beaver tail is done frying in the oil, I'm just gonna let it drip a little bit and then put it in this tray of cinnamon sugar that we've prepared to get it all nice and coated. If it's not getting right on there, you can just use your hands a little bit to fill it in. And then once it's all ready, you're just gonna set it on another baking sheet and do the rest of your beaver tails until all of them are done. All right, everyone, so here are our finished beaver tails, and the last thing to do is to sit down and enjoy them with your friends and family. Well, that's all for me for now. I hope you guys have a wonderful Canada Day and see you guys soon.